Look, we done switched it up. Okay, so look, the first two sit down with the Reeds was in Taylor's Zen area. But you know me, we had to bring it down to the basement. So we in a good vibes, good times lounge with it. Switched it up a little bit for y'all.
I like it down here.
I like it too. What's up, baby?
What's up?
What we talking about today? What's one of the questions?
Well, we actually had a lot of questions. Somebody wanted to know about our wedding, like the planning process, just us deciding where we were going or how we wanted to do our wedding. Like, just wanted us to break down our thought process uh, with the wedding.
Uh-huh. Um, our wedding planning started off rough because of course we wanted to include everybody that we could include, but I also wanted to travel and have a destination wedding and Taylor as well. Um, so we had to really sit down and figure out what we wanted because at the end of the day, we were the ones paying for it. Um, we were the ones planning it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, so we both had this idea like we wanted a destination wedding. And that was just like absolutely. And the reason why we could both talk about individually why we wanted a destination wedding, but um I always wanted to get married on the beach. Like I literally always wanted to get married on the beach. Water is my favorite element. I love being by water. I love being on the water. I just couldn't see myself like I've been to a ton of weddings. I've been in a few weddings. And I just couldn't bring myself to spending what like 30, 20, 30, $40,000
on
on
one
one
day,
day.
yeah,
I
that was
was
the main thing.
like if that's something that you want, go ahead. I think it's a great day. But from my experience when I've been in weddings or have seen weddings firsthand, the bride and the groom don't get to enjoy it. The bride is ripping and running. She's stressed all day. Um, you don't get to eat. It's like a big party for you and you entertaining and a lot of the times the bride and the groom don't stay stuck at the hip most of the time. You get separated and I just feel like I don't want it to be this day that's like we got to do this, then we got to do this, then we got to do this, then we got to do this. Like
On
I
top of
just
that, meeting all type of new people who you probably not gonna remember from each side of the family. So it was just a lot that we had to consider and a lot that we just didn't want to have to deal with.
yeah, that's actually a great point too. I didn't even think about that until you just said it. Like we got into a relationship right when COVID started. So a lot of our families did not get the chance to meet. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't have those barbecues or Thanksgiving dinners to introduce each other to our family. Like we've met each other immediate family, but like those extended cousins, like we didn't get that opportunity. So it for sure would have been a day.
Yeah, the eyelash.
Oh, thank you. It for sure would have been a day where it's like, oh, this is my uncle, this is my aunt, this is my cousin. Oh, I didn't want that either because,
It
you
was gonna
know,
take away from our day basically.
yeah.
And so, what better way to get married than to have a destination wedding? And on top of all the things that we didn't want, we spent roughly around five, six, maybe $7,000 after clothes, flight,
Yeah, my
exp.
dress, your suit.
Yeah, about seven thousand
Yeah.
dollars. $7,000 probably was the most that we spent, as opposed to it being 20, 30, $40,000 for a traditional wedding at the crib.
Yeah, so in the beginning, so when we first decided, well, I mean, I was kind of looking up stuff before he proposed, but you can't never really, be like, oh, look at this, and then be like, oh, he ain't proposed yet, so you moving too fast. So right when he proposed, I think that next day or like that whatever when I went back to work, I was not working. I was looking up how we were gonna get married. So the original plan, I think what we just wanted to do. I mean, it was still COVID time. Like we were engaged right in the middle of COVID. December 2020 is when we got engaged. So when I'm looking up stuff is still shut down. You wasn't able to go to a lot of places at the time. So we were looking up stuff in the U.S. and it was like, okay, what if we go to Cali and we looked up Big Sur and we like, what if we hike? We hike on the top of the mountain, or like Big Sur was like 3 hours away from the closest airport. So it's like, okay, we get there, then we gotta rent a car, and then we have to get to the place, and then it was like our friends and family would come. So it's like, do we get a big Airbnb or make everybody get an individual hotel? But it's still COVID. Then we looked up Colorado, same situation. The places we wanted to get married went.
Man, I wish we could have went to Colorado. That was it for me. That was the one. That was the one. My bad. Go ahead.
No, no, you good. Like that's for sure. Like that was a destination that he absolutely loved. So we like, dang, okay. It just stuff started adding up pretty quick, and we like, still, this is a 1 day or a weekend thing, and we're trying to plan around friends and families. Like, okay, are my mom gonna be able to take off of work, or is my cousin gonna be able to come? Like, it was just like
It was a lot that
it
we
was a
had to
lot.
consider, and it was just like at the end of the day, we the ones getting married. So it was like we got to be happy at the end of the day. I would hate for us to had did all of these things to make other people happy, and at the end of the day, we look back and we like, what the hell was that? You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So
So I think what I ended up doing, I looked, just Googling. I'm like, okay, I found destinationwedding.com. When you first go on destinationwedding.com, you're like, man, this place look good. This website look a little rinky dink. Like, I don't really know. But we got connected with pretty much a wedding planner that planned everything. So when we got connected with her, we like, okay. She's like, well, when you want to get married? We like, shoot, let's just pick a month.
I think we were supposed to do early August,
Yeah,
but what was the reason why we couldn't do it?
something with the resort. So this, so a little backstory to this. We were in the midst of planning our wedding, and we decided to just rip the band-aid off. And we like,
Y'all heard it
man,
here first.
we went ahead and just got married because we were wedding planning, and we were like, okay, we don't know when we're gonna be able to get married because of COVID, but we wanted to be married. Like, we wanted to be married, and one important date came up, and it was February 15th. And that was the day that he had asked me to be his girlfriend. Oh my God, yes, that's the day he asked me to be his girlfriend. So I think what, like 2 weeks before that,
We like, let's just go
let's
ahead
just
and
get
let's
married.
just do
Yeah,
it.
so
We eloped in our basement
yes.
over there. We're in the entertainment area. I think the paper was what, 10, 15, $20. Came in here, had a few family members come, and we signed the papers, said our vows, and we was married.
Yeah.
Like,
It was something so last minute, and we just wanted to, what I'm saying, just make everything official.
it was spontaneous too. It
It
was
was,
fire for real
it
because
was
it was
very,
like we just did it. You
yeah.
know,
That goes to show,
we
like,
got videos from that day too.
that's the whole thing about our relationship, though. Everything about us has been spontaneous so far, like
Yeah,
buying a house, getting married. So, okay, so we got married, but we knew that we had to get married anyway because anyway, any place that we wanted to go to required you to be married beforehand. So with all the destination weddings, you have to be married before anyway. So we like, okay, let's just go ahead do this. So when we picked the place, I think we were choosing between like anywhere that had a beach. And I think Cancun popped up because neither one of us had been to Cancun yet. And we're like, okay, let's do this. We found a resort. We planned everything. Now this is the part that made me fall in love with a destination wedding. I did not do any planning. So we talked to the travel agent. She booked our flights. She booked a hotel. Um, she booked everything except for our COVID test. Like, it literally boiled down to she did everything for us. About a month before the wedding, the resort reached out to me like, okay, pick your flowers. Pick how you want the canopy to be. Pick if you want rose petals or if you want like the little, I don't even know what this called, a runner.
it's so crazy because I barely even remember having to help choose and pick. That's how much we ain't had nothing to do with it. Like I barely was helping because they was handling everything. It wasn't nothing for us to do but show up.
Yes, like it's literally to the point where they literally gave me a checklist, like check this off, pick what you want, and I sent it
That was the
back.
last time we seen it. Until the day, until we just went over it to make sure everything was right when we was there. That was the last time we seen it. And mind you, we paid it for it in what, February or March. We
Yeah,
started. Yeah,
yeah. So when we got to the resort, they checked us in. They're like, okay. The resort was so nice because they're like, oh, pick your couple's massage day, pick your dinner on the beach, pick this, and we're like, oh, dang, we didn't even know all of this came with the wedding. Like, okay, cool. All of this was complimentary. And then, I think what when we first checked in, they're like, oh, just bring your dress and his suit, and we'll get it ready for you. You won't see it again until the wedding day. And when we went and sat down with the wedding planner, he like, okay, well, the wedding starts at what time did it start? 5.
yeah, like 5,
He
right
like,
before
okay.
sunset.
He like, all right, Alonzo, you're gonna get your own room so you can change in. Taylor, you just be ready by 4:45. I said, okay. The day of the wedding, they just came. I got dressed and everything. They knocked on the door. They're like, you ready? I'm like, yeah, come on, let's do this. And they literally walked me to where I had to walk down the aisle, and that was it. They had everything set up for us. Like they made sure everybody knew where to go,
Or the sit.
where to sit. Like everything was. I had zero stress. I think the day of the wedding, we woke up and we went and got breakfast
It
together.
was so chill. Like we ain't have nothing to do but show up and say I do. That was our only thing we had to do. So it was fire for sure. If you ever thinking about a destination wedding and you watching this video, I
Do
highly
it.
recommend it. I wouldn't do it no other way. If we was to renew our vows, we doing it in another country. Like it's just you got to do it. It's fire for real. Like I definitely recommend it to anybody that's thinking about getting married or that is planning right now. Like do a destination wedding for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, even if you think about like, not even just to say like cost made a huge difference, but cost definitely sold us on it because we had 7 days at the resort. 7 days,
7 days,
all
marriage,
inclusive.
married, all inclusive, excursions, drinks, pool, the beach, everything that you could think of. 7 days of paradise for $7,000 as opposed to one day
7,000 plus.
7,000 plus and not getting no beach or not getting all inclusive drinks or food or you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
A whole new resort in another country. Like it just makes sense if you put them next to each other. Like, come on.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's based off of like what y'all want to
Yeah,
do or
it's preference
like,
for sure. So don't.
but it checked off every bucket that I could. Every, yeah, is it bucket? I
Yeah,
don't know.
every,
It checked off everything that I wanted in the day of my wedding.
and we had a honeymoon included too. So it was like we was there for what, 4 days before we got married,
Yeah.
and then was there 2 or 3 days after we got married. So it was like a vacation, a wedding, and a honeymoon all in
Yeah.
one.
We were there for a few days before friends and family even got there. And so that was another cool part is I mean, you can pay for your family to come down there and it wouldn't be as expensive, but I mean, we just told our friends and family like this is the date that we're going to be there. This is the day of the wedding.
Y'all figure it out
You come
whenever
when
you
you
want to
want to.
come.
Like there's no specific day that you had to be down there.
Just be there at least a day before the wedding so that you could be settled in. But outside of that, we had friends that stayed 3 days. We had friends that stayed 4 days. We had friends that stayed 5 days. It was just up to their preference, and it all worked out. We had us a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so funny because I mean, I just told y'all when we got married. And so why 2 weeks after that is when we found out that we were pregnant.
Oh yeah.
So imagine like, okay, yep, I'm going to this all inclusive resort, all of these drinks and everything, and then we like, oh, okay.
What we about to do? But you know what? Spontaneous. We gonna go ahead and keep it going. Then
Yeah.
you know
I
we
mean, I
ain't
didn't
stopping
miss the
nothing.
beat by being down
Took
there
my baby
pregnant,
to the
but
beach with us. You know.
but no, it's for sure a fun experience and I wouldn't change the experience at all.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess I just plug destinationweddings.com if that's something that you're
This
interested
is
in.
not a sponsored video, but if y'all
Not a
see this,
sponsor.
reach out to us and we can work something out. You feel me?
No, but Yeah, that's how we came up with the idea to do the destination wedding, and that's how we executed it. And
And that's how we gonna do it the next time too. You hear me?
listen, no, I mean honestly, when you book a wedding, with the resort, I don't know if all resorts do this, but I mean we got 3 nights free for our anniversary.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So this year when we go, we book 3 nights. No, book 4 nights and we get 3 nights free.
Yep,
When at any secret resort or hotel stay, um, so we can go to Jamaica or we can go to Spain or what? It's a new one that
St.
they just
Martin's.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
bunch of
few of
different.
them.
Yeah,
So yeah, man, we there
yeah.
for free. 3 days honeymooning. Good vibes and good times.
If you guys want to know anything else about us, if you have any questions that we would be able to share when we sit down with you guys and tell
Or
you
if
what.
you just need some good vibes and some nice, you know what I'm saying, some positivity in your life, just ask us questions and we gonna kick it. That's all it is. That's all we doing is kicking it. You know,
Yeah.
hit us up. Hit Taylor up in her DM because she get all the good questions. Y'all don't mess with me unless Taylor involved anyway. So hit Taylor up. We out. GVDT.